Tyrone Keys helps others receive the same opportunity he was given. An SEC 75th Anniversary Story of Character.
But Tyrone Keys hit quarterback Don Jacobs. It forced the fumble. Mississippi recovered and ended Alabama's 28-game win streak.
I can still see it in slow motion when Wilbur Marshall picks up the ball. The Fridge is leading him down the field, and we all are just running with him.
Fridge ain't losing no ground now. He's right with him.
You can't write a script for this, just the way it all ended.
Not to get theatrical, but I mean, how better can you write a script here for crying out loud?
And the snow starts coming down, and the fans went absolutely crazy.
The Bears were going to their first Super Bowl. Mike Ditka's thoughts turned to Papa Bear George Halas, the man who had hired him to get them there.
And I think right there, the old man was saying, we've come full circle, guys. We've come full circle. That's the first time since '63.
And I never would have ever thought that when my dad took me outside to kind of throw the ball around, that this ball would have taken me places. But I want to tell young students, the ball without education and without the proper mentoring is a disaster.
Tyrone Keys was born in Jackson, Mississippi. He attended Dawson Elementary School, where his young life was impacted forever by his 6th grade teacher, who taught him to dream big and believe in himself. Holloway High School is where he met his coach Odell Jenkins, who became his mentor. In 1981, Tyrone graduated from Mississippi State. In 1985, Tyrone Keys won his first Super Bowl championship with the Bears. Later that year, Tyrone and his teammates produced the iconic Super Bowl Shuffle, featuring Mr. Keys as the keyboardist.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would.
But the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the Super Bowl Shuffle was, if you listen to Walter Payton's lyrics, we're not doing it because we're greedy. We're doing it to feed the needy.
And we're not doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it to feed the needy.
And that was to raise a lot of money for the families in Chicago to feed them and clothe them during the winter months.
Our first award this evening is usually presented by Ted Rubenstein, the brother of our late executive director, Michael Rubenstein. Regretfully, Ted is unable to be here this evening, but the award is named in Michael's honor and is given to someone who has made a lasting impact on local, state, or a national level. Tyrone Keys, a member of the Hall of Fame class of 2009, is this year's winner. 25 years ago, this 7-year NFL veteran established the All-Sport Community Service Incorporated. Since that time, ASCS has raised millions of dollars to aid those looking for mentors in both the Tampa Bay and the Mississippi areas. ASCS is a way to highlight the power of educators to bring a multicultural, intergenerational mentor model to bear fruit for families, communities, and the world. At an early age, Tyrone recognized those that helped him along his path to manhood. Now he is working to provide mentorship and guidance to those young people in need of a push in the right direction. Tyrone is the 7th to receive this award, joining former winners Dave Boo Ferris, Ben Puckett, Archie Manning, George Bryan, Governor William Winter, and Ron Polk. Tyrone continues to connect with the roots from his beginnings to the present times. Let's bring up Mr. Tyrone Keys.
It was a proud moment 9 years ago to be inducted into this Hall of Fame there and have my teachers to come, and my 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Hagan, who actually had us do a book report on Archie Manning in the NFL draft. You know, that's how Archie Manning actually became my favorite player in 1971. He was the first player that was coming out to be picked, and I ended up doing a book report, and Mom and Dad had just gotten the encyclopedias there for us. I was able to do a little research, and I saw that in 1936 the NFL constituted the NFL draft so that the weaker teams can have a chance to pick first. And then years later, after my career ended, I wrote a story, and I wrote a grant to the NFL, and I told them we could not help all the kids, but we can take the worst, the best kids out of the worst conditions. 25 years later, hundreds of kids have come back. They're now teachers, educators, and now they're doing the same thing. And now we get a chance to ride on the back of the bus with them, and it's just been beautiful just to see those guys take an opportunity and run with it. And so all young people need in life is opportunity.
Tyrone Keys, a former Mississippi State football player, came back to this his hometown, his native town, met with this is a school that he went to, the elementary school, met with kids and spoke to them about believing and achieving, and it's a really inspirational story behind Tyrone, and I got to share it with you all. And again, this is a segment we call Scott's Thoughts on Sunday nights, and just want to tell you, in the past few weeks, I've been lucky enough to get to know a man named Tyrone Keys, a former Callaway High School All-American, Mississippi State All-SECer, Super Bowl champion, and most recently, Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame member. His career accomplishments impress. His story inspires. But it's not solely Tyrone's story. It's a lesson and a living lineage and how sometimes the smallest people can make the largest lasting impact. As a football player, Tyrone Keys' journey led him through SEC domination at Mississippi State and Super Bowl glory in the NFL. Yet through all of his triumphs and success, he never forgot about this woman, Mary Hagan, Keys' 6th grade teacher.
So when she came off from LSU as a grad and talking to us about LSU and Southeastern Conference football, and gave a chance for a kid like me to really dream, and I began to watch the Mississippi State highlights.
So much so that for 39 years, Tyrone tried to contact Mrs. Hagan. The teacher to whom he owed so much had no awareness of the impact she had made.
She expanded our awareness of what the possibilities could be. And over the years, I always thought about her.
To be honest with you, I did not know, have a clue that this impact had reached the level it did until after we started talking.
If people was like you, you know, if more people like you, this world would be a whole lot better place. And a lot of these children now,
Really?
they would be so much better because you showed a lot of passion.
In 1970, Jackson, this school, like many others, was combining students and teachers, both black and white. Tyrone says at 9 years old, Mrs. Hagan was the first white person he'd ever spoke to.
Your desk was right here. And I sat right over there.
You know, we had room up here to do all the dancing around.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I remember those kids lined up, they lined up against the wall when you had too many kids in that class.
Yeah.
The times were tenuous, and Hagan and her husband withstood great criticism from peers for the young teacher's position.
This elderly lady that lived across from me, she was friends with the governor. I don't know what the deal was there, but she came over and told us that you need to get all your stuff out of here because they're plotting against you. And my husband already left, so I called him up, and he and his father came up during the middle of the night, packed up all our stuff. What y'all didn't know, I was just practically sleeping on the floor, and they were just harassing me something terrible.
You know, back in our era, when Martin Luther King had that famous quote, it's not the content of your skin, but the content of your character. She came in and she represented what true character is.
I want to thank you so much for inspiring me, continuing to inspire me. I'd like to present this to Tyrone. A teacher's gift is knowing that a student has reached his or her fullest potential. And to top that off is knowing that that student is able to return this back to the community. And Tyrone has certainly fulfilled my dream as a teacher. So Tyrone, I would like to present this very special plaque to you. And a special thank you for touching my heart, not only back in 1970, but again in 2009.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And this is for you. As you know, you got started, my journey got started here at Dawson Elementary School. And that's why I'm back here today, is to share with the students, to let them see the fruit. And I wanted to also share with them the root. So you were the root here at the school. My parents were the root at home. And I want teachers to know around the country that it's the positive words, and it's the seeds that they plant within the heart of the students. And it can come full circle. That both people come together as one.
40 years ago, I was right here, walking the same halls, sitting in the same chairs that they were sitting in. So I wanted to have an opportunity to see what the picture can look like for them.
We changed plans, right? But no, when you left, you finished that whole year. Right. You know, when you left, you know, a lot of people behind that was kind of hurt behind that. Because, you know, you was such a lovable and respectable person. There's a lot of people behind you.
I never knew all of them. I knew what y'all did to me, but I didn't know what I had done to y'all.
Right.
It's a teacher's dream, knowing that you had that kind of impact on a young student, especially in elementary. You never know which child you touch and what time of day you may touch that child or in what way. It's overwhelming. Every teacher strives to help assist each student in reaching his or her highest potential, and knowing that you accomplish that goal is the ultimate.
I'd like to say a few words about a guy I know, a friend of mine. His name is Brian Piccolo, and he has the heart of a giant and a rare form of courage which allows him to kid himself and his opponent. Cancer. He has a mental attitude which makes me proud to have a friend who spells out courage 24 hours a day, every day of his life. Now, you flatter me by giving me this award. But I say to you here and now, Brian Piccolo is the man of courage who should receive the George S. Hallis Award. It's mine tonight, and Brian Piccolo's tomorrow. I love Brian Piccolo, and I'd like all of you to love him too. And tonight, you hit your knees. Please ask God to love him.
Just give me 18 inches of daylight, that's all I need. Born in Wichita, Kansas, but raised in Omaha, Nebraska, Gail Eugene Sayers was one of 3 sons raised by Roger Winfield Sayers and Bernice Ross. He attended the University of Kansas, and with 4,000 all-purpose yards, was named the Kansas Comet, but football was not a means to an end.
I went to college not as an athletic student, but a student athlete.
He was selected by the Chicago Bears as the 4th overall pick in the 1965 draft by owner, GM, and head coach Papa Bear.
And I want to give a special thanks to George Hallis. A man who more than anyone else has made professional football what it is today. There's not much you can say about someone who's become a legend in his own lifetime, but I want to try. Mr. Hallis is one of those rare individuals who is not content with things as they are, but sees things as they could be and works to make things better.
As a rookie, he exploded with an NFL record 22 touchdowns, capped off in December on a muddy Wrigley Field with 6 touchdowns.
When he ran, it was like watching one person turn into 2 people.
In 1965, the Kansas Comet had the 49ers seeing double when he blazed across a rain-soaked Wrigley Field, scoring 6 touchdowns to tie the NFL single-game record.
Give me 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need.
I never went on a practice field and worked on faking left, going right, or turning around, that type of thing. Many times there'd be a fella coming from my blind side, and no way I could see him, but I could feel him. There's times that I would make a move, and I couldn't explain it, but you know, it's a God-given instinct to do things like that.
You know, I'm a painter, so what you learn when you're a painter is that you paint your broad strokes, which is obvious to the eye, and then you paint the subtleties, the nuances. That's where the story is being told. That's what draws people in. That's what makes people pay attention. Gail, he had a natural subtlety in the way he performed on a football field. You couldn't take your eyes off of him. You don't see that all the time. I mean, it's unusual.
Brilliant but fleeting, Sayers' career lasted just 68 games. In his fourth season, he tore several ligaments in his right knee and was never the same runner again. However, like Williams' performance in Brian's song, Sayers' work still resonates.
Watching him run was one of the most beautiful, special experiences I've ever had in my life. That's indelible greatness.
As great as he was on the field, his quiet wisdom and integrity made him the perfect choice for George Halas. Halas chose Gail to become the first African-American ever in the NFL history to room with a white player in 1967, Brian Piccolo. They were completely opposites who found themselves to be best friends through football. A true story that captured America's ideal of coming together in Brian's song. They became great friends, and it was Gail at Brian's bedside when he tragically passed away before the season started, a sober part of life's journey.
Reaching this point, however, is not as important as striving to get here. This is true in all professions, in all life's activities. There are doctors, lawyers, school teachers, plumbers, all who strive to do the very best to their abilities. We hear a lot today about how the American people have lost their dedication to excellence. I don't believe that is true. Each of us excels at different things, sometimes in areas that are only a hobby, more often in our life's vocation. The most important thing, however, is to strive to do our very best.